Welcome everyone to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, Bitcoin price to $30,000 in October, says analysts, as the Bitcoin price climbs 2%. And check it out, Coinbase CEO slams Chase UK for a totally inappropriate crypto move. And I'd say the same thing. Also, breaking news, the SEC Chairman Gary Gensler says Bitcoin is not a security, but refuses to say it's a commodity. Max Kaiser's response, Bitcoin is a synthetic commodity willed into existence by humanity's collective unconscious to fill our deepest psychic need as a species for perfect money. It regulates itself and it obviates the need for the nation state. Preach. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing the SEC pushes back the deadline for ARK21 shares, spot Bitcoin ETF to January, continuing to kick the can down the road. However, breaking news, U.S. lawmakers call on the SEC Chairman Gary Gensler to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF immediately. Keyword, immediately. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing Bitcoin price can hit $10 million within the next 9 years, according to the Blockstream CEO Adam Back. And speaking of a $10 million Bitcoin price, did you know how Finney was calculating a Bitcoin price of $10 million per coin just 1 week after the Genesis block on January 3rd of 2009? Talk about an absolute legend. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And a quick reminder to smash that like button if you like receiving daily premium crypto news alerts every single day just like this. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. And I greatly appreciate everyone's continued support. Welcome to everyone just joining us on our live stream. This is pod episode number 1414. I'm your host, JV, and today is September 27th, 2023. We got another action-packed show for you today. Let's kick it off with our market watch. It's good to see a lot of the cryptos are back in the green, with Bitcoin holding on to 26,200 as support. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the crypto market cap pretty stagnant at just above $1 trillion, with roughly 28 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance pretty stagnant as well at 48.9%, and the Ether dominance at 18.3%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Bitcoin Cash leading the pack, up 7%, trading at roughly $230, followed by the infamous Pepe, up 5.6%, followed by Chainlink, up 3.5%, trading at $7.65. Which altcoins, if any, are you most bullish on right now? Drop it in the comment section right down below. And at the end of the show, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past week, we can see it's a mix between a sea of red and a sea of green. We have Bitcoin Cash up 7%. Again, Link is up 3.5%, and RLB up 4.5%. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, which is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, you can see we're currently rated a 46 in fear. Yesterday was a 47, last week a 46, and last month a 38 in fear. So there you have it, fam. How many of you are bullish for this upcoming October, which is only a few days out? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And speaking of technical analysis, let's dive into today's TA and check out the charts and what is popping with the King Crypto. Bitcoin broke higher into the September 27th Wall Street Open as one analyst predicts a return to 30,000 in October. If you agree with this analyst, drop a 30K or 30 Gs in the comments section. Here we can see the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart as Bitcoin just started to pump. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView followed the Bitcoin price action as the bulls gathered steam to reach 26.8. Over on Bitstamp, the 2% jump to near weekly highs came as market commentators already eyed the thin overhead resistance with a breakout on the cards, which should not be replenished. Now, SKU Analytics added that this can create some good opportunities with inefficiencies and a potential premiums later, as he outlines here on X. Now, also, on-chain monitoring resource Material Indicators revealed an uptick in activity from one specific class of whales well known for its impact on the Bitcoin price action. Material Indicators further noted that the move above 26.5 had invalidated a warning signal that came on the back of the daily chart's death cross at the start of the week. Quoting the analyst here, purple buys, dips and sells rips. I am happy to swim in their wake. Fire Charts integrates a CVD chart binned by order class, which shows that historically the purple class of whales with order sizes in the $100,000 to $1 million range have had the most influence over Bitcoin, which you can see here in this chart in that purple line. Now, Quoting crypto analyst Mikhail Pop, I'd prefer to see 26.5. And if we do, we are likely to see $30,000 in October. Send it and let's freaking go. I'm specifically awaiting for that 30,000 price action. I think we can do it. Data from monitoring resource CoinGlass meanwhile confirmed that short liquidations remain modest, with around 13 million in Bitcoin shorts having been liquidated for the day at this time, with the cross crypto tally at roughly $39 million at the time of this recording. So how many of you are bullish for October, just a few days out as we end this September? Let me know, fam. Or do you feel we're likely to drop even lower so you can stack some more sats on the low? Either way, let me know what your instincts are and your intuition, so I can read that all out loud here in a little bit. Now let's discuss Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the United States. Pretty upset with the regulation from JP Chase, as he should, as they just recently banned all crypto transactions in the United Kingdom, which is definitely not a good look. So here we go. CEO of major US-based crypto exchange Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, condemned the decision of JP subsidiary Chase UK to restrict the crypto-related transactions. Armstrong shared September 26th to slam the Chase Bank for its totally inappropriate move to ban on its customers in the United Kingdom for making any debit card or wire transfers related to crypto transactions. Quoting him here, UK crypto holders should close their accounts if this is how they're going to be treated. The CEO also urged UK officials, including the UK Prime Minister and UK Economic Secretary, to check whether Chase UK's actions respect the country's policy goals. Armstrong expressed hope that Chase UK might change its decision after the officials look into the situation. He shared, really hoping there is more to this story than meets the eye, and that this does not reflect Chase's UK actual value in their view. Now, September 26, Chase UK officially confirmed that the company decided to ban its customers from making any crypto-related transactions, citing a high level of fraud in crypto. As they shared here, customers will receive a decline transaction notification if they do attempt to make a crypto-related transaction, is what the bank said. And according to Coinbase's official website, the UK is among the regions supported by the platform. Alongside the US, Europe, and Canada, the exchange has been actively pursuing its expansion ambitions in the UK. And in April of this year, Coinbase stated the firm was working seriously in the UK and Europe. And while pushing aggressive expansion in the UK and Europe, Coinbase has been facing legal issues at home, as we all know. In June, the US SEC filed a lawsuit against Coinbase, alleging that the exchange had violated certain security laws, deeming a lot of their altcoins for sale as unregistered securities. Now, all I know is this: I don't think JP Chase is a good guy. Obviously, they are bad. They're investing into crypto behind the scenes, yet they're banning people from the UK for being able to purchase any crypto transactions from a bank account of theirs. If no one pushes back on this and there is no uproar, who's to say they can't ban crypto transactions in the United States? Keeping in mind that JP Chase is the largest financial provider, the largest bank in the United States. So here's my thoughts. I agree with Brian Armstrong. I think we should all boycott their bank. Why should we support our oppressors? If they're an enemy of crypto, why are we supporting Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Chase? To me, it makes no sense. But what are your thoughts, fam? Are you going to continue to support them, or are you going to pull out if you're already doing business with them? I'd love to know your thoughts. Personally, if I had a banking account with them, I would, get rid of it ASAP. And a long time ago, I used to have a Chase Bank account, and I got rid of it because I didn't want to support our oppressors. You know what I mean? If you're against Bitcoin, you're an enemy of Bitcoin, and therefore, why should you deserve our support? That's the way I look at it, fam. Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's discuss Gary Gensler on Bitcoin. He was recently pressed by Congress, and this is actually breaking news right now, or everyone's talking about over on X. So let's break this down. SEC Chairman Gary Gensler says Bitcoin is not a security, but refuses to say it's a commodity. I mean, this guy, Mr. No Clarity Gary, couldn't give him a better nickname, right? Max Kaiser responded, Bitcoin is a synthetic commodity willed into existence by humanity's collective unconscious to fill our deepest psychic need as a species for perfect money. It regulates itself and it obviates the need for the nation state. Preach. I agree with Max there 100%. So let's dive a little deeper into this recent pressing. The United States House Financial Services Committee will hear how the SEC is changing its oversight and rules to keep pace with tech advancements, including crypto, and AI. SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is set to outline how the U.S. SEC is updating its rules to align with tech and business models in the 2020s. And as a customary, Gensler's opening remarks have been published ahead of the September 27th hearing, outlining the SEC's wider oversight of securities and exchange in the United States. And if you've missed it, you can catch all of these clips of Gensler refusing to answer the question over on X. I highly encourage you to check it out. Now, referring to the establishment of the 1933 Security Act, Gensler said to the U.S. Congress and made a decision to include a list of more than 30 items in the definition of a security, including the term investment contract. Quoting him here, "As I've previously said, without prejudging any one token, the vast majority of crypto tokens likely meet the investment contract test." Why are we comparing, we're in the year 2023 and we're using a 1933 Securities Act to determine if something is a security or a commodity? To me, that makes no sense, but what do you think, fam? Gensler is set to tell the House of Financial Services Committee that the SEC's view is that most cryptos are subject to security laws, also necessitates the intermediaries such as exchanges, brokers, and dealers who must comply with these laws as well. I also like to point out, because I watched a few of these clips, they asked Mr. Gensler, would purchasing a Pokemon card be deemed a security? And Gensler was like very hesitant, but no, just the purchase of a Pokemon card wouldn't be deemed a security. Then they, with the same logic, said, what if it was a tokenized purchase of a Pokemon card? And then Gary refused to answer, which is ultimately, I mean, he's corrupt as all what. We all know this. So it's good to see that the Congress is finally calling out Mr. No Clarity Gary. And also, they want an ETF approval immediately. In fact, there was just a letter sent to the chairman from Congress, which I believe is our next story of the day. So let's dive in and break this down. But first, actually, we're going to be discussing they pushed back the deadline for the Bitcoin ETF approval to January. So unfortunately, in October, we're not going to be seeing any Bitcoin ETF approvals unless Gary does a complete 180 and listens to what Congress is urging him to do immediately. So let's break this next story down. Here we go. The U.S. SEC has taken a maximum time allowed for the regulator to reach a decision on a spot Bitcoin ETF offering from ARK 21 Shares, which I believe is Cathie Wood's company. In a September 26 notice, the SEC said it would designate a longer period on whether the approval or disapproval of the proposed rule change that would allow ARK 21 Shares spot Bitcoin ETF on the CBOE BZX exchange. The Commission's previous delay on August 11th gave the regulator until November 11th to decide whether to approve, disapprove, or again defer a decision. Quoting them here, the Commission finds that it is appropriate to designate a longer period within which to issue an order approving or disapproving the proposed rule change so that it has sufficient time to consider the proposed rule change and the issue raised therein, said the SEC. Now, the delay came the same day that the SEC deferred a decision on the Bitcoin ETF offering from fund manager Global X. It is unclear why the Commission chose to designate longer periods to determine the fate of the spot Bitcoin ETF apps weeks ahead of their next deadlines in October and November. The regulator has usually waited a few days before any deadline to file a delay. So they make a great point. Why are they filing delays in advance? Can you say it's, you know what I mean? They're fudging some things here. With the additional 60 days to consider ARK 21 Shares offering, the SEC's final deadline for ARK 21 Shares will now be January 10th, which is 240 days after the initial application was filed, with the next deadline for Global X's ETF, which will fall on November 21st. As James Safart outlines here on X, update, wow, the SEC just came out super early and delayed the ARK Invest 21 Shares Bitcoin ETF filing. This thing wasn't due for a decision until November 11th. So what in the world is going on? Also delaying the Global X ETFs app, which was due October 7th. Now, the filing followed a letter from a group of U.S. representatives, which I'm going to be covering in great detail in our next story. To date, the SEC had not approved any spot Bitcoin ETF for listing on a U.S.-based exchange. Many industry experts speculate that the Commission would reconsider pending ETF apps following the SEC's loss to the Grayscale lawsuit court in August. And at this time, the next deadline for spot crypto ETF apps are from 7 major firms, which include the largest asset manager in the world, which is BlackRock. They control over $10 trillion in assets under management. Also, we have Wisdom Tree, we have Invesco Galaxy, we got Valkyrie, we got Bitwise, we got Van Eck, as well as Fidelity, which I believe is the second largest asset manager in the world with over $4.5 trillion in assets under management. They're scheduled all for October. The SEC can delay or extend these deadlines until March. You know what I mean? How do you feel this is likely to play out? Do you think they'll continue kicking the can down the road as long as humanly possible? Or do you think the pressure from the Congress will light a fire, spark that fire under Mr. Gary Gensler's butt and get him to take some action that is in the best interest for once for the investors in the United States, which is clearly approving the spot Bitcoin ETF so we can get these trillions of dollars, which are currently sitting on the sidelines, to enter the Bitcoin market? They can't continue to push it back forever. It is only a matter of time. And with that being shared, now let's discuss this letter that Congress wrote to the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, urging him to approve Bitcoin ETFs immediately. Keyword, immediately. That means stop pushing it back, Gary, or you're going to be in a serious amount of trouble. Just saying. So 4 members of the U.S. Congress are requesting Gary Gensler to immediately approve the listing of a spot Bitcoin ETF. That's right. In a September 26th letter to Gensler, U.S. Representatives Mike Flood, Wiley Nickel, Tom Emmer, and Richard Torres claimed that the SEC was discriminating against spot Bitcoin ETF products. Facts, citing the legal precedent set by Grayscale Investments in a winning review of its own ETF offering. The 4 lawmakers told Gensler there was no reason to continue to deny spot crypto ETF apps following the Grayscale court decision, which ruled the SEC's reasoning was arbitrary and capricious, and in having already approved investment vehicles tied to Bitcoin futures. In fact, I want to actually read you the actual letter coming from Congress. I shared this yesterday and it started going viral. It got 95 hearts already and 26 retweets. And here's what the official letter from Congress to Chairman SEC had to share. I'm going to be reading this out loud for you. Here we go. Congress on the United States, Washington, September 26, 2023, to the Honorable Gary Gensler, Chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Here we go. Dear Chair Gensler, we write to ensure the Security and Exchange Commission does not continue to discriminate against spot Bitcoin ETFs. The SEC is responsible for making certain that products that comply with investor protection standards are made available to the investors. This position was affirmed 3-0 by the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia last month in the Grayscale versus SEC. The Circuit Court upheld Grayscale's position that the SEC violated the Administrative Procedures Act when denied Grayscale's app to convert the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust GBTC product to a spot Bitcoin ETP. In its decision, the Court of Appeals held that Grayscale's proposed Bitcoin ETP is material similar across relevant regulatory factors to the approved Bitcoin future ETPs. It further found the SEC's unexplained discounting of the obvious financial and mathematical relationship between the spot and futures markets falls short of the standard for reasoned decision-making. The Court of Appeals concluded that in the absence of a coherent explanation, this unlike regulatory treatment of the products is unlawful. The court's findings underscores the fundamental point. A spot Bitcoin ETP is indistinguishable from a Bitcoin futures ETP. Thus, the SEC's current posture is untenable moving forward. During your time at the SEC, you have consistently stated that digital asset firms should come in and register with the SEC. Market participants have relied on your statements and have filed applications for a regulated spot Bitcoin ETP. And following the Court of Appeals decision, there is no reason to continue to deny such applications under inconsistent and discriminatory standards. A regulated spot Bitcoin ETP would provide increased protection for investors by making access to Bitcoin safer and more transparent. Congress has a duty to ensure the SEC approves investment products that meet the requirements set by our Congress. And to that, we urge you, and he continues, let me finish this letter here, right here, to approve the listing for spot Bitcoin ETP immediately. We appreciate your attention in this important matter. So there you have it, fam. What are your thoughts on Gary Gensler continuing to push back and kick the can for anything related to a spot Bitcoin ETF, and in which the SEC has been disapproving and pushing back for the past decade, while at the same time approving Bitcoin futures ETFs, which are clearly not in the investors' best interest? Do you think this pressure from Congress will light a fire under Mr. No Clarity Gary's butt and get him to take action and finally approve a Bitcoin ETF sooner than later? Here's what we do know. We're soon entering 2024. We know it's a Bitcoin halving around the corner, roughly 6 months out, scheduled to take place in April of 2024. We also are likely to get these spot Bitcoin Bitcoin ETFs approved, especially with all the pressure coming on the chairman of the SEC. So I feel it's inevitable. I think 2024, we're in for the ride of our life. I think it's going to be a hell of a year and a hell of a Bitcoin bull market. But what's your thoughts, fam? How longer do you think they're going to be able to continue to push this back before we finally get the green light on approval? Let me know, fam. Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And with that being shared, now let's break down two $10 million price predictions. One from Adam Back, an early Bitcoin OG, the Blockstream CEO, many consider to be Satoshi. We also have Finney. He is a legend. May he rest in peace. He is no longer with us, but he was the first one to predict a $10 million Bitcoin price just like a week after the inception of the Genesis block all the way back in 2009. So let's break this down, because for this to take place and happen, we're talking about hypothetically a $200 trillion market cap. And a lot of people ask, is there even that amount of wealth in the entire world? Absolutely. The total addressable market, just FYI, is north of 700 trillion. So anything is possible, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. So let's break this down. If you're excited, let me know who is tuning in the live chat, where you're tuning in from. And again, at the end of the show, give everyone a shout out, and we'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Let's break this baby down, shall we? Here we go. Blockstream CEO Adam Back believes the price of Bitcoin can reach $10 million per coin by the end of the sixth halving in 2032, as long as Bitcoin layer 2 tech and wallet infrastructure improves, which we all know it will. In a Twitter thread, the Bitcoin Core contributor explained to his 500,000 followers under what situation Finney's 10 million price prediction for Bitcoin could come true. Adam Back noted that Bitcoin had doubled in price year on year on average since 2013. That's an entire decade of doubling. That's what's up. And explained that if the trend continues, the Bitcoin price will reach $10 million per coin, along with a $200 trillion market cap in around 9 years' time. Let's read this Twitter thread from the one and only Adam Back. Early this year, I was curious of the claim, Bitcoin 2x's per year on average. But guess what? It checks. The decade from January 2013 to December of 2022, Bitcoin went up 2x per year, which is 1,200x in a decade. If that continues, we will cross $10 million per Bitcoin and a $200 trillion market cap by the end of the next two halvings in roughly 9 years. And in this diagram, it shows you no coiners is currently 7.7 billion and Bitcoiners with 100 million. Now, he also goes on to share that 200 trillion is Finney's 2009 Bitcoin market cap prediction. It is a lot. It displaces a significant part of the store value premiums in bonds, real estate, monetary premium, gold, 60 to 40 stock portfolios, and etc. Something adoption will slow, derivatives reduce volatility. And let's read this original prediction by the one and only Finney, may his soul rest in peace, as an amusing thought experiment. Imagine that Bitcoin is successful and becomes the dominant payment system in use throughout the world. Then the total value of the currency should be equal to the total value of all the wealth in the world. Current estimates of total worldwide household wealth that I have found range from 100 trillion to $300 trillion. So with 20 million coins, that gives each coin a value of about $10 million per coin. That's what's up. Send it and let's go. Adam continued, I am not sure about the adoption slowing nor the volatility reducing. There are other factors. The new cycle of people who learn to hodl and stack, who over time make it their mission to buy and to cold storage as much Bitcoin as possible, even resorting to leverage, volatility creator. And he continues, adoption could have hyper-Bitcoinization spurts where rapid viral adoption nukes a weak currency in a hyperinflationary frenzy and domino crash 20 bottom tier currencies. People get pragmatic, adapt fast if they see fiat melting, a rush to others protecting savings via Bitcoin. Also, bear in mind, Bitcoin, pun intended, right? Bear in mind, Bitcoin does not have to absorb anywhere near 100 trillion to reach that market cap. Pay attention. Due to the relative thin trading and hodl cold storage investors, if Bitcoin really gets moving, it'll become harder to get anyone to sell, have to pry it out of their cold wallets. Preach, especially my long-term hodlers. Where you at? He continues, given the volatility, I think Bitcoin can overshoot widely and tap one of these 100 to $300 trillion market caps, correct, and then regain a steadier adoption over time. I suspect people with average entry points relative to then current price won't have much incentive to sell in size. So it is true. There is some, in effect, Bitcoin rehypothecation via side contracts like perpetual futures. However, reality is there and not really much naked naked short interest. So most of the shorts are delta neutral, collecting funding rate on US dollars and by matching physical Bitcoin collateral. The market in Bitcoin native financialization is immature, also untouched. Bitcoin structured products, mortgages backed by real estate, but interest guaranteed by BTC. Other products make Bitcoin easier to use for more people. The match risk profiles, which creates more growth. And I'll leave you with one more insight from Adam Back. So I think this will get interesting over the next two halvings, and fast. We don't have much time to scale tech. We need somewhere for the next billion users to own their own UTXO, their own keys, with censorship resistant cold storage without remaining main chain security. So there you have it. Now back to the infamous Hal Finney, as Dr. Bitcoin points out here. You think Bitcoin Twitter is bullish? Hal Finney was calculating one Bitcoin price of 10 million per coin just 1 week after the Genesis block on January 3rd, 2009. Let that sink in, fam. He also noted that Bitcoin's acceptance rate would be slow at first. This is still clearly evident a decade later, as very few people on the planet hold more than one of them. Quoting Finney, one immediate problem with any new currency is how to value it. Even ignoring the practical problem that virtually no one will accept it at first, there is still a difficulty in coming up with a reasonable argument in favor of a non-zero value for the coins. He went on to work out to a total household wealth at that time, which estimated to be 100 to 300 trillion. And again, he said even with only 20 million coins, that would put each Bitcoin at roughly $10 million each. Now, it appears that their little experiment have been a wild success, clearly, wouldn't you say? Despite just a fraction of the world's population holding and using Bitcoin, obviously the price continues to skyrocket over the past few years and has become a disruptive force that it was intended to be. The governments and central banks are rattled, which means the Bitcoin has the potential to become the dominant payment system, though 10 million bucks per coin is probably a little far-fetched unless there is hyperinflation. I mean, that's a possibility as well. Finney, who said computers can be used as tools to liberate and protect people rather than control them, was noted cryptographic activist and cypherpunk. He created the first reusable proof of work system before Bitcoin all the way back in 2004. And in January of 2009, he was the first recipient of a Bitcoin transaction and since has sadly passed away in late August of 2014. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Adam Back's $10 million price prediction, along with the infamous Hal Finney, may his soul rest in peace. What are your thoughts? Do you think this can happen by the year 2032? What is that? Another 9 years away. I mean, anything is possible. I'd love to see it personally, but let me know your thoughts, fam. I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Now, if you gain value out of today's show, the greatest compliment you can do, smash that like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. Also, heads up, this is the first time Crypto News Alerts is going to be doing an uncensored Q&A session after this main stream ends on YouTube. You got to join me over on Rumble. Go to Rumble right now. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply go to Rumble and type in Crypto News Alerts in the search. You'll find me. Follow me, because this will be the very first. You want to become a part of history in Crypto News Alerts, you got to join us for our very first uncensored Q&A session, because it's very limited, the things I can talk about and what I can really say on YouTube, for obvious reasons. So once again, alert. As soon as this stream ends on YouTube, we're going to continue the stream on Rumble. We are also streaming live right now on Rumble. I do the stream simultaneous on both communities, but the difference, after today's Q&A session ends on YouTube, it's going to continue over on Rumble, which is a great reason to start following me on Rumble so you can join us in our uncensored Q&A session, and you can ask me anything and I'll address it. I won't hold back. I promise. This is JV Uncensored, Crypto News Alerts Uncensored. I invite you to join me on Rumble. But first, let's have our Q&A session also here on YouTube as well. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. What is good, fam? Danny Bitcoin, welcome. TI, welcome. Bitcoin Trini, welcome. Hazy, welcome. Digital Dankness, welcome. What up? Ellen, welcome. $0 G Row in the building, welcome. Ellen, good to see you. MK still stacking. Bring facts. Fairground Fun Fairs UK. We got the UK in the building. Good to see you guys. Tim's Crypto. What up? Bitcoin Trini. What up? Digital Bobby. Bobby Digital. What it do? Wu-Tang Clan. T.I. Huddle Mike 73. What's poppin'? Philosophy. Hustle of the Dawn. What's good? Jack Gion. Good to see you. Bitcoin on Lake. What up? Yeah, good to see y'all. Much love. I'm going to start reading everyone's comments out loud and do the best that I possibly can. What up, Knox Bill? Good to see ya. Dankness. Every day, JV gives us the escape valve and a chance to all become millionaires. I appreciate that, Dankness. Much love, fam. Appreciate you as a mod as well. Jay Ivy, what up? Bitcoin is the new XTC. Crypto Surge says good afternoon from New York City, Brooklyn, to be exact. BK in the house. Shout out to Brooklyn and to the entire New York fam. Smash those likes, fam. I appreciate that, Surge. Much love. East New York in the building. What it do? Much love. Evening from Cornwall, England. England in the building, as always. We all know Adam Back is Satoshi, says Jonathan Briggs. Can we just ask him straight and not let him leave until he admits it? Why hasn't anyone tried that yet? Well, because we respect him. That's why. You know what I mean? It's better that it remains a mystery who Satoshi is. If Satoshi hypothetically was identified, do you think that would be a good look? Probably not. You see what happened to Edward Snowden, the WikiLeaks boys. I mean, Julian Assange, I'm talking about. You could only imagine what they do if the United States government got a hold of who Satoshi truly is. And that's another topic for our uncensored live Q&A session that I'll get into a little deeper, because I got to be careful what I talk about here on YouTube. But great question, fam. Welcome to the live experience. This is pod number 1414. Let's freaking go. Let's get it. I genuinely don't think Hal is Satoshi. I think he definitely knew who he was, though. I would agree. I think a lot of these cypherpunks obviously are in the same circle, and I think Satoshi is more than likely a collective versus one single individual, but someone was representing him singularly, right? Because they were signing off on his name. So that remains, who was signing off on Satoshi's name? Great question, right? Run that node, fam. We are all Satoshi. Cold storage, hard wallet, run a node and be Satoshi. Amen. Why not become a part of Bitcoin? You can actually become Bitcoin by having a node, right? I am Satoshi. We're all Satoshi. We are early, 100%. Hey, Z, what it do? Welcome, fam. What up, Jonathan? I've got Satoshi's autograph. Isn't that something? Word. Tim says, get me home, JV. You got it, Tim. Much love. Driving and listening as usual. Thanks for the support. Make lovin'. Good stuff. Maybe Hal was Satoshi, but knew his family would be persecuted for creating the fiat antidote, so couldn't admit it ever. Very strong possibility. All good. Keeping everything on ice. Hope all is well with you, bud. Appreciate you, Steve Randall. Much love, fam. What is good? Tough T. What it do? Sitting outside with my rabbits. Says bring facts. Letting them forage in the yard. Word. Shout out to your rabbits, fam. And shout out to my dog here. We got the mascot of Crypto News Alerts, Nipsey. Probably can't see him in the current shot, but you'll see him eventually chilling in his little bed right now. 30,000, let's go. Yeah, how many of you agree 30,000 likely for October? Let me know. We're not far from it right now. What's everyone buying? Kaspa, hello. Bitcoin plus link, says Ellen. Our thumbs up from anyone that's heard of Tuska. Suka, I'm not familiar with that. Is that a cryptocurrency? Is it an exchange? Is it a city? Is it a person? Let me know. Holla all. What up? Relax. Relax and meditation music. Maybe not 10 mil, but I am waiting for is the volatility as long as the sucker is heading day trading rules. JV is going to do uncensored Q&A on Rumble. That is right. For those just tuning in, I will be uncensored on Rumble. As soon as this stream ends on YouTube, we continue the uncensored stream for the Q&A session over on Rumble starting today. So that's why you got to be following me on Rumble, fam. Highly recommend checking out Suka, featured on Next Crypto Jam's next TV show, Fair Stealth Launch Community Token. We are Ryoshi. Interesting, Danny Bitcoin. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. Just arrived home. Great to be home and hear from JV. Smash that. And grateful to be here. Bullish on Bitcoin, says DCA Bitcoin No Alts. I appreciate that. Much love, much respect. It's a big Zen token, says Ellen. It's not going to do 100x. October. Oh yeah, let's freaking go. Evening. We aren't going to let you buy it while we are buying it all up. We'll sell it to you later. Bring facts, referring to BTC. I'm late but present. Better late than not present, right? Shout out to TI. JV, can you? No, I already know. I'm not mentioning no more altcoins for you guys. I already gave you some shout outs. Bro, Chase is scaring their customers. Yes, they are. For them to fill their bags. First a-holes to the max. Agreed. I'm not a fan of JP Morgan Chase. I am very vocal about that. I think what they're doing is wrong for the entire crypto community. It's obviously not serving us. It's not helping us. And it's an experiment. They're going to see if they can get away with it. And if they get away with it, who's to say they won't ban all crypto transactions here in the United States? Maybe even before Bitcoin gets the green light from the SEC. Maybe that's the plan. Let's get it banned from all the major banks so no crypto investor can purchase it anymore. Then we'll approve the Bitcoin ETF and no one will be able to buy it. Who knows what they're thinking? All I know is I don't trust them whatsoever. I don't think they deserve or have earned our trust whatsoever. So stop supporting them. Stop supporting your oppressors. You know what I mean? If anyone is against Bitcoin, they're an enemy, right? So why support them? Remove your money out of their banks. You know what I mean? As long as you are banking with them, they control you. Whoever controls your money controls you. With Bitcoin, no one controls your money. It gives you self-sovereignty and freedom. So if that's what you want, remove, you know what I mean, your money from the banks. Only keep in the bank what you're willing to lose at the end of the day. Because keep in mind, if there was a legitimate bank run, the FDIC doesn't have enough insurance or enough money to cover you, regardless if they say, we're securing you for up to $250,000. That amount of money doesn't exist because they use fractional reserve banking, right? For every dollar you put into the bank, they lend 10x that amount out. So if there was a bank run, it's impossible to get your money back. And do you think bank runs can occur? Have we not witnessed how many major bank runs all across the world from countries all over the place, including in our own backyard in the United States? So we know what's possible. Be prepared, fam. It's a sign of the times. This guy has a vendetta against freedom, bro. Who you referring to? Jamie Dimon, right? Yeah, most banks in the UK are fine at the moment for crypto. No one I know even uses Chase. The future might be hard. Best to avoid JP Morgan and US control system. Facts. Very well said. I'm glad to hear that other banks aren't banning crypto transactions. Don't trust JP Morgan one bit, JV. Thank you. Agreed. Eli Hernandez, I had a Washington Mutual account and bailed out when JP Morgan Chase took over. All the banks got bailed out. Credit union only since then. Smart man, Eli, music to my ears. Congratulations. Well done. I got rid of my Chase account, says Ellen, after I saw how sickening rich and corrupt they are, screwing with commodity and silver and gold, etc. every day. Well, kudos to you, Ellen. Glad to hear that. Hey, Z, don't sell on FUD, guys. They want your Bitcoin before pumping it soon when you least expect it. Facts, hey, Z. I just got here. What's the $10 million date? Says Eratz by the year 2032. So another 9 years. Adam Back predicts we can see a $200 trillion market cap with a $10 million Bitcoin price, which is in alignment with Hal Finney's initial $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. And of course, we got some great questions coming from our Discord server. If you're not a part of our Crypto News Alerts Discord fam, you can join us at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Here's the question. In what ways might geopolitics and global economic conditions impact the trajectory of Bitcoin's value reaching over $250,000 per coin? That's a great question. Obviously, no one's trusting the centralized systems and centralized money Ponzi schemes we have been virtually enslaved into accepting, since the inception of our lives. And so I think transparency will change the game as people lose confidence in the US dollar. They lose confidence in politicians. They lose confidence in central bankers and governments around the world. Where are they going to turn to? The only free marketplace, which is Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It's free, censorship-free currency. It's incorruptible. It's unconfiscatable, it is borderless, and it's for the first time in human history we have had a money supply with a finite limited supply that can't be corrupted by shady mofos. Because if something can be corrupted, you bet your bottom dollar. That's why corruption exists. Power corrupts absolutely, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're witnessing right now, in my humble opinion. I am a Bitcoin maxi, and I discovered, okay, it is what it is. Do what you got to do. Keep stacking those altcoins, fam, if that's what you want to do. Do you think it's possible to sue the banks that don't let you buy crypto? I mean, who are they to tell me who and what I cannot buy? I think that's a great question, Ellen. Maybe class action lawsuits. People can get together and do that. But you got to note, these banks are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So it's not going to be cheap, you know what I mean, to go to Congress or to even whatever, the Supreme Court, go to the high levels of the court, it's going to cost a lot of money, take a lot of time, and that's probably why not much is ever done. You're fighting juggernauts that have all the money in the world to crush you at the end of the day. But I think it's a great idea if people got together collectively to do something about it. Gary Douchebag Gensler, that's coming from TI. No disagreement there. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, Gensler's delay in approving Bitcoin ETF launch is akin to him choosing to shoot his own foot with a slug from a shotgun instead of a 22 with an air pistol. Preach, Larry Lowe. Appreciate that. Chris Minka says nothing will happen to him. Probably not. TI, the citizens need to lift. We are drowning slowly in these tragic economic times. Many will suffer. Very unfortunate, right? What's poppin'? Bit Bros. Let's freaking go. Shout out to Punchy Coffee. What it do? Agree. I wouldn't trust him in a paper bag. That's right. And Gensler couldn't punch his way out of a wet paper bag with scissors in his hand. That's who we dealing with right now. Just saying. I trust him with a plastic bag of duct tape. Tom Emmer. Yeah, shout out to Tom Emmer and Congress for doing a good job. If it ain't East, then eliminate yourself, Gary. Word. Hello from Michigan. Shout out from Michigan. One love. Does this mean anything to anybody? Definitely excited for the future of Bitcoin. Hit that and like, send for the algorithm. Thank you, fam. Good afternoon, Bitcoin on Lake. Appreciate it. LA in the house. Shout out to Adam Back. Is Satoshi suspect number one because he created cash proof of work system? That is true. If it wasn't for Adam, let's just say Bitcoin wouldn't exist. So he definitely played a role in it. The question is he Satoshi? You know what I mean? I am Sergi. It's Sergi. Oh, referring to Sergi being Satoshi, Ellen? Let me know. I already decided if I get another dog, I will name him Satoshi. Love it. That's a great name. Long-term hodler in the house. Shout out to Tim's Crypto. Let's go. And I say all others don't really matter at this point. Thank God. 100 bazillion, gazillion, quadrillion market cap. As long as the money printer go, it's going to happen. Preach. It is what it is. Made it home safe. Happy to hear that, McLovin. Appreciate you tuning in on the ride. Yeah, 10 million with inflation in 2038. Likely 2.5 million in 9 years, says Hey Z. How many of you agree? Hit that like button. Appreciate that. It won't take all the money, just 25% or so. Word. I'll be there. Uncensored sounds are good. Good stuff. McLovin, appreciate ya. After party on Rumble, that's right. I like that. So the CNA uncensored Q&A after party exclusive on Rumble, because this transmission on YouTube will end and we will continue the after party on Rumble. You know what I mean? Where I have the right to speak freely and I don't have to worry about being censored. I like that. It just makes me feel good. You see, I'm smiling. Yeah, looking forward to it. Tony Jeffries, appreciate you, fam. Thank you for tuning in for the UK. We're going to pump JB so much, he's going to come through the screen on us and hit peace with Bitcoin knowledge and hope, brother, flow and sir. I appreciate you, TI. Much love, much respect. Satoshi would be in jail if he was doxxed. Facts, Chris. I bet Satoshi is a team rather than a single human. Seems to be a collective. But who was signing off on those original, you know what I mean? And wherever it was, whether it was the Reddit groups or wherever, who was signing off on Satoshi's name? There must have been a single individual doing that, you know what I mean? Get Satoshi to the 100,000 party so we can all get a photo and an autograph. I like that idea, Dankness. I may just make that happen. How many of you are joining us to the 100,000 Fiesta party in Puerto Rico? Let me know. Gotta let me know. Has never touched the thousands of Bitcoin, which he is already. Oh yeah, Satoshi, I mean, his wallet holds, is it like 1 million Bitcoin? It's a lot. I don't know the exact amount. Cryptic Sniper, what it do? Do you have a link for Rumble here? Yeah, Crypto Surge in the show notes below the video in the description on YouTube. I always list my social media links, and of course, you'll find Rumble. And it's simple to remember, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply go to Rumble and just type in Crypto News Alerts. Hit that follow. Let's see how many followers we currently have. I'm going to refresh the transmission up here, specifically on Rumble. So right now we got 690 subscribers / followers on Rumble. As you know, we got like almost 58,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm encouraging everyone on YouTube following me, everyone watching. There's almost 200 people live in the YouTube chat. Everyone, I'm telling you right now, go to Rumble. If you haven't signed up for a Rumble account, now's the best time to do so. Yesterday was an even better time, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Set up your Rumble account, follow Crypto News Alerts, and start tuning in on Rumble every day, because Rumble also serves as the backup. God forbid something were to happen again to my YouTube channel, because we know it's possible. I did lose my channel for roughly 11 days. They say I was permanently terminated, and then they said they made an honest mistake. and they gave me my channel back, but that makes me feel a certain type of way. So now I have backup measures. You know what I mean? We have a clips channel as a backup on YouTube, and we also stream simultaneously live every day on Rumble. And now we have the exclusive after party uncensored CNA, you know what I mean, Q&A session exclusive on Rumble, which gives you all the more incentive to join us on Rumble. You know what I mean? Evan Rivero, good morning, fam, and thank you for dropping the link, Dankness. Good morning. My new iPhone 14 Pro Max came in broken, so they owe me a new one. That sucks. Been missing the lives and have been rewatching. Also, I just got out of surgery. They cut 7 centimeters straight to my backbone. Well, I'm sorry to hear about the surgery. Praying for a speedy recovery. Thank you for your continued support. Sucks to hear about your phone. Hopefully they get that sorted out, fam. And thank you for tuning in and supporting the movement. Bitcoin is a digital asset. Once Bitcoin booms big, don't sell it. Borrow against it. Buy property or other assets. Very smart thinking, Spycraft. That's precisely what one should do. Bullish on Bitcoin, and fingers crossed the DXY takes a heavy rejection at 107. Well, let's hope that. Good afternoon. Have you heard anything about the Bricken project? I've never heard of Bricken. Frickin'. No, I've never heard of that one, fam. That's why they have it. Coin Father, appreciate you guys. Isaiah, Smash, thank you. What are your general thoughts? Yeah, sorry, I have no thoughts on it because I've never even heard of it. Confidence in the U.S. government will be lost heavily by December. Facts. I don't see how anyone in their right mind could even trust the United States government now. What more tyranny do they have to commit? You know what I mean? What more oppression must they commit in order for you to lose more trust? I lost all trust with the U.S. government a decade ago. Like, it's impossible for them to regain the trust that they lost. You know what I mean? And they continue to do things that warrant us to not trust them. So that's why we moved to Bitcoin. We stop supporting our oppressors, we remove our money from the banks, and we stay away from CBDCs, and we just go long Bitcoin. Problem solved. And we teach others the holy gospel of Satoshi, which I do here each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year on YouTube and now on Rumble. So we got to spread the word. There's a big job we have to do. Can you tell us something? I'm going to tell you something. Gensler is delaying so he can let his banker buddy stack. When banks are done stacking, they will allow Gary to approve the spot ETF. Facts. I think you're right. I think BlackRock doesn't really want the approval right now. I think they want the price action to be suppressed, because if you can purchase Bitcoin hypothetically for $20,000 versus $60,000 or $70,000, what would you choose? They're in business to make money. So the lower they can stack those sats, the better they are for the long haul. So this gives them the opportunity to do so. I think you're spot on, Matthew. I think you called it there. Give analytics. Okay, everyone is here is likely a long-term hodler. Just need for Bitcoin 5 months. That's right. So anyone who has been hodling 5 months or longer is considered a long-term hodler. Spot ETF on exchanges down almost 50% from the 3.1 to 3.2 million Bitcoin on the exchanges in 2020 down to about 1.8 million today. Soon the normies will only have paper Bitcoin and ETF as an option. Can you say incoming supply shock? Send it. Let's go. That's right. As of today, there's less than 2 million BTC sitting on the exchanges. If we get the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States from a major asset manager like BlackRock, Fidelity, etc., game on. There's not going to be enough Bitcoin to go around. Simple supply and demand. Stock to flow. When you have a massive demand and a very limited supply, what's going to happen? Numbers go up. Hence Bitcoin, number go up technology. Send it to the moon. Let's freaking go, fam. Once ETFs go through, the spot Bitcoin's going to get got. Going to be almost impossible to get to spot. You make a great point. Just followed you on Rumble. Thank you, Fairground. We're about to continue this saga for the Q&A on Rumble. I will try to be at the 100,000 party. Satoshi Nakamoto owns more than 1 million BTC in total. Thank you, Coin Father. Based on the current value of Bitcoin, the value is around 980,000 BTC. Holy moly is all I got to say. I definitely want to get to Puerto Rico for the 100,000 party, says Isaiah. Well, looking forward to seeing you there. There's no reason you shouldn't be there. Everyone should be here, especially if you're tuned into the show. There's nothing more important going on planet Earth. I'm just saying. And I'm going to make it worth your while to be here. There's going to be some surprises. So you're going to have to join the Discord server, plug into the 100K Fiesta channel and learn more about that. You know what I mean? 30,000 October. Let's freaking go, says Carl. Send it. Hopefully all the rest go up with Bitcoin. Well, there is no second best. Michael Saylor called it. Anyways, here's what we're going to do. I appreciate all the fam just tuning in and joining us. I appreciate the Rumble fam. Here's what we're going to do. As of today, We're going to end this broadcast on YouTube, but we're going to continue the after party uncensored Q&A live session exclusive on Rumble. So the Rumble transmission will continue. So if you're already on Rumble, you don't need to do nothing. If you're on YouTube, like 200 of you are right now, I would highly encourage you to come join us over on Rumble. Sign up, get an account so you can interact in the chat, smash the like, follow me. Let's get this baby blown up. And if this goes well, we'll continue to do it every day. It'll be the uncensored live Q&A after party session each and every day, 7 days a week, exclusive on Rumble, so I can speak my mind. And here's the place where you can ask me anything, and I'm not going to feel bad answering it because I don't feel like I have to watch my back and watch what I say. You know what I mean? So this is respecting my First Amendment, and that's why I am so happy right now. So anyways, fam, if you've been joining us on YouTube, you know what to do. The greatest compliment you can do is smash that like button. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, follow the new channel. It's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net, exclusively for shorts and clips, which are being uploaded on a daily basis as well. We already have 400 plus new subscribers on that new channel. But what we're going to do now, let's all head over collectively to Rumble as we end this YouTube broadcast. So here we go. Let's end on YouTube and keep it on Rumble. But it is my first time doing it, so I need to figure out how to do it. So hopefully I do it correctly. So pray for me. Here we go.